Attention chiropractors, slayers of subluxation, unleashers of the imprisoned impulse. Welcome to another week of the Chiropractic Research Breakdown. Well, as you know, each week we break down the most relevant chiropractic science and philosophy to empower you with the ammo and certainty necessary to change the health of your community from the inside out. I'm super excited. I'm your host, Dr. Anthony Pellegrino, and I'm here with Dr. Otto Janke. Am I saying that right there, Doc?
It's like, yeah, I said it correctly, man. New York Yankees, but with a J.
New York Yankees with a J. I like that. We've got a lot of Yankees fans down here in the People's Republic of New Jersey as well. So we're going to be diving deep into some research on HRV, on adaptability of the nervous system, specifically on a case report for a post-breast cancer female. We do make this information, as you guys know, into patient newsletters. So if you guys want to jump on board for that, get this in your practice inbox, check out chirohmedia.com. But to dive in, the name of the article is Improvement in Vagal Function in a Post-Breast Cancer Patient Receiving Chiropractic Care, a Case Study. So Doc, before we dive into the article itself, one of the things that I really appreciate with you and reading the articles you've written in the past, as well as our conversations that we've had back and forth, is just your understanding and application of adaptability of nervous system, of HRV. So before we go into the actual case, can you just give us a little bit of a background on like what heart rate variability is and why it's applicable to us in a chiropractic clinic?
First of all, Anthony, thanks for having me be on with you. This is that HRV, very, very simply, measures small differences in heartbeats. Why is that important? Because of this. If a bear walks into the room, your heart rate should jump. That's normal. But when the bear leaves the room, your heart rate should go down. And that's normal. And so what the HRV is going to measure is if your body is adapt. Is it able to jump up? Because if your nervous system can't do that, I don't care how you meditate. You're screwed. You're gonna put it straight like that. Is screwed. So a man office who thinks that there's a bear in the room. That talk we have with our this exact talk we have with our patients all the time. Is there a bear in the room? And imagine someone had a bear in the room. What would the heart rate be like? Would be up. Cholesterol levels up. Digestion normal. Reproduction abnormal. Focus down to go into deep cognitive thinking down. Breathing altered. All those things happen. By the way, those things are normal room. But you take a look around, you go like, holy cow, man. And I tell them, look around. Is there a bear in the room? There's no bear, but your body thinks that there is. This is absolutely critical because I don't know about you, but that is my practice. These are the people I see in my practice all the time. And it's going to be starting from teenagers on up. We're seeing heart rate variability, this perception of a perception that they're in danger, perception that there's a event going on. They perceive this, and their altered physiology shows this. Why is this important? Believe, this is me. You should be testing the stuff all the time in your practice, all the time. If you're going to talk nerve, man, you got to show nerve, man. And here's the best way to show nerve. And by the way, we're going to show this all the time, is that we know that chiropractic adjustments, when you detect and correct the subluxation, when you are adjusting someone, you can, I will show you. How many articles do you want me to show you? I'll show you all. I'll go through them all are saying that if you have your HRV up and for longevity is, man, this is if you want to talk about the nerve, if you want to talk about chiropractic, talking about detecting, correcting subluxation so we can improve someone, this is the place.
It is a great time to be a chiropractor, is it not?
Absolutely. We got the research.
Yeah.
By the way, if you are looking for the research specifically in chiropractic, I would tell you that the 15, 20 none of them are from chiropractic journals. But all that if you can improve the nervous system, that you have an opportunity to only help someone get through cancer, which my case study showed them that they're able to live something brand new we never even thought about this before. Is that now they did what they had to do to stay alive, but now we're helping them to live. How do you do that? You get the vagus nerve rocking, man. You can't do it by medications. Pharmacology wants to do that, and it fails dramatically. How can we have something that doesn't have positive effects? It's the adjustment. Surgery, man. This is just what the science shows. This is what it shows. We can do this very well.
I love that. I love that. And I mean, you're completely right. Looking at reading the article, one of the things that I didn't realize, but makes sense. I didn't realize there was research to show that individuals or women specifically who had been through chemotherapy have a significantly reduced heart rate variability, which makes sense because to stay alive during chemo, like there literally is a bear in the room. It's just a bear inside and it's chemicals, right? I mean, it's chemotherapy. So it makes sense that that's going to be reduced for a long period of time. Specifically in this case, she met her 8 months after she was done with chemo. She's post-cancer. She's in remission, low HRV, and her quality of life was completely impacted. When we look at this actual mechanism for like why chiropractic improves HRV, or why that should be a conversation that you have with her, how the spine actually plays a role with that part of the nervous system. How does that explanation kind of come in for you to that patient or practice member?
First of all, comes to my prayer, finishing up with chemotherapy. Her first day in my office, we our full evaluation with her, but we also do dramatically surface thermal scan. With HRV is that she is toast. Her nervous system is toast. Here's the critical thing. It's supposed to be toast after chemotherapy. And the nervous system, and the research shows these women that they're going to have low HRV. They're going to have low adaptability, quality of life. And by the way, that is expected. How do I know? Research shows that. Now, they expected, I thought it was words until you start reading the latest research. Research shows that it's going to be maybe 10 years after they've gone through the chemotherapy to keep them alive. But they're going to have the brain fog. They're going to have the digestive difficulties. Maybe not feeling their extremities. Maybe not feeling, always feeling fatigue. All these things. And so how can we better? Well, we try to, in many places, we try to look outside and how many things can we add to the person? Can we talk about digestive issues and talk about nutrition with these people? You can, but it is so unique. It is incredible. And these people, they've been toasted, man. They've been toasted. And their biome is a mess. And so it's not like, and I'm a plant-based eater. And so it's not like I can say, by the way, I think you should eat keto, eat foods, eat plant-based, whatever it is, because it's so unique for each person. So why don't we get back to the one system that controls it all? And you can say to them, listen, I think you should do, by the way, we have meditation in my office. I do meditation, but it works differently. Why don't we get to the one system that controls it all? I think you should exercise. And they're saying, I can't exercise. I'm always fatigued. So why don't we get back to the one system that controls it all? And we talk to them about that same thing. You think there's a bear in the room. I show them their scans right in front of them. I show them the scans. I make it as simple as, and we talk about this. And they all come back and about this. How come no one told me that I could support groups I'm in? They say, congratulations. You won. They tell you behind the closed doors, privately, they did what they did to stay alive, but they do not feel like they're living anymore. They do not feel like they're living. They can't play with the kids. They can't be friends. So they say, what can we do? Well, it's them. We've known this is the key cortex that inside you is the greatest chemist ever. Inside you is the great to unlock that, and it takes time. It takes time. But in opinion, we can show this by what the research says in other that when they're activated, man, now they have the either best.
That's awesome. That's good. And I think what you just said is really impactful. And I hope for anybody listening, I mean, a lot of times this podcast is about the science and the research, and we're going to keep talking about that. But there's so many good nuggets that just go for how we can relate to and understand, communicate with our practice members. And what you think I said is just so impactful that out there, like you beat it. Right? Like we beat cancer, the big C. Congratulations. But it's like this post-apocalyptic, well, yeah, we won the war, but what's left? Like there's nothing left. Is this what life is supposed to be? And to be able to start to rebuild that foundation, I mean, that is, could you think of a better definition of what chiropractic is on this planet for? Right? I mean, to rebuild that foundation. Congratulations, yep. You survived, but let's get some life. Yeah, man. I love that. I love that. So just diving deep onto it.
I see.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yep. So I see these women and you see these women, but it's typically on the on and they're ringing the bell. You answer. You did it. You did it. Again, they had to do to stay alive. Now the big work starts. How do you get back into living again? And you know, I got into chiropractic because I read 2 sentences in a book in a Las Vegas library. One was that we're the most over-medicated, most overloaded, we're not the healthiest. But the second line was that everything we've ever needed to be our healthiest is locked within us. We need to unlock that and let it go, let it rock. How could we? Perfect place. If we start to teach the nervous system, train the nervous system, allow it to unlock, unleash, we have an opportunity to help these people. Now, Anthony, let's take it one step farther. Why do we have to wait for people to have cancer to be in our office calling me? And I will. More people call me and saying, what are you doing here? How are you doing this? So help cancer. And we're teaching the immune system to be strong. Nervous system to we started to see them before cancer, beforehand. And I will show you the report over again that activating the vagus of your life and your health care based upon having the nervous system and the vagus nerve best. Guess who does that the best? Because we've this man.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I like and I think like looking at it, this the fact that everything we have within us, you know, it's not even, I mean, it's a chiropractic principle, but it's not like we're the only ones that think that. And this is something I like to talk about with people. And yes, there's people in other professions. Like there's good and bad in every profession, right? My wife's an RN, and we always have this conversation that's like, you know, the medical community comes so much under fire in chiropractic. And it's like on day 1 of anatomy and physiology, one of the things that they learn is that we're greater than the sum of our parts. You know, that's not just a chiropractic thing. And it's like, if we can understand this, what we're referencing now is their research, not our research. They believe what we believe. They know what we believe. You know, medical profession has gone from doing very invasive vagal nerve stimulators to now like transcutaneous, because they want to be less invasive, because they want to activate that vagus nerve, and they believe what we believe. And if we understand how the body actually works, we can say, hey, listen, we're on the same page. You just may not have looked at it in this light, but we're going for the same thing here.
Yes.
Love it. Love it. So we got the function of the nervous system. We've got sorry, I think we have a little bit of an audio lag there, but we've got the HRV, we've got understanding of the nervous system. For some people, they got like, hey, we understand chiropractic impacts the nervous system. We understand we're measuring these HRV changes. How, and just for people who are missing this connection here, missing this bridge, how does adjusting the spine influence the nervous system such that HRV, like how does the spine actually go, and by correcting subluxation, how is that affecting and changing the HRV?
So the truth answer is I don't know the whole story. I don't know the whole story. What I've seen is that we affect the prefrontal cortex. I know that up there we can change the way they act with inflammation and react to stress. Fully, how's it work? Truthfully, I don't know. But I do know this. When we start to adjust people and our focus is to be balanced as well as it can, we see the changes and we can document the changes. And I'm going to take it one step farther for you. A short time ago, I had a young boy in my office, and as we do with everybody, I asked the mom to write medications this young boy was on. And I look up the medications, as you all do. And I look at the side effects of the medications. One of the medications said, and it said in WebMD, I looked up 2 other places, it said that we do not know how this medication works. We do not know how the medication works, but we know it has these effects upon someone. I slammed it shut. I slammed the paper closed right away, Anthony, and I said, why is it in chiropractic we have to understand the neural connection when pharmacology is pushing this stuff left and right, and they have no idea how it works all the time? So my truth is, I don't know how it works. I'm not quite sure. He might be the only one in chiropractic, maybe Chris Kent, but I'm not quite sure this. When we adjust someone, we can document improvement in the nervous system. I don't know how I dash in sub 9 seconds, but I know we measure them in awards for that, and it's about time we start doing the same thing in chiropractic and helping people.
That's funny. Yeah, I've read. That's funny. Maybe Dan Murphy. I would say Chris Kent probably knows, and Heidi Havoc's up there too. I really enjoy Chris Kent's model, the 4-dimensional model of subluxation and disaffrontation, and how that aberrant bombardment of proprioceptive information. It reminds me of his description of how the frontal cortex is being bombarded by the spine. There's a movie, the new Man of Steel, Superman, not the Batman versus Superman. I like to talk about heroes in comics whenever I can. There's this scene in this movie, in Superman, Man of Steel, where the new one, not the old one, where General Zod or whatever his name is, takes his helmet off, and this helmet has been blocking all of the inputs on Earth that he's not used to. It's been blocking all of these brainwaves, all of these sounds, everything like that, so he can focus on one thing. And he gets completely bombarded by all the stimuli that are on Earth, the sounds of the birds, because he can't filter it out properly. And he shuts down. He goes on the ground. He can't survive. He can't figure it out. And it's like when subluxation is present, I believe that is basically what's happening in the brain, that it can't properly filter. It's being bombarded with information because the body's like, hey, I'm in the wrong place. I'm in the wrong place. Proprioception, nociception. What are we going to do? What are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? And the brain's like, hold up, this is exhausting. I don't want to do this anymore. And I believe, in the easiest way of thinking about it, that scene is actually written by a chiropractor. That's what I believe. Cool. So with it, Doc, a justice woman, huge improvements in HRV. How?
So let's
do it.
So let's take it one step farther. Guys, one of the researchers I follow is Yori Freedom. Fantastic stuff on HRV. I talked with Yori a while, and I told him this study was coming out. He said, well, look at that, how inflammation, this personality we have, and it's thinking that is it because my question is this: I'm a doctor of chiropractic. I want to know the fever is what's causing the fever. What's causing the? I said in my brain right here, my idiocy of brain. That time, I said it looks like a neural miscommunication to think that it needs to have this chronicity inflammation. And he said, "What's the word you said? Miscommunication." Oh, I love that. I love that. Miscommunicate, neural miscommunication. What do we come out? A relationship between vagal neural immodulation and survival. And you need to understand pathophysiology and treat disease. You may need a nerve to treat pain. Coming out with the stuff and says, "Listen, get the vagus nerve correct. Get the man. I don't treat these in the office. I don't treat cancers. Optimize people's nervous systems so they can be optimized."
I love it. I love it, Doc. Well, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to be with me and breaking down this case and breaking down HRV, and not only in the science, which I had a lot of fun talking about that with you, and the adaptability. But I definitely took a lot away for just patient communication and being able to take this and break this down and make it digestible, and making sure that there's no bear in the room. So with that, Doc, I'm just going to give you the floor for just a second. Let you get back to your day, but any parting words of wisdom, as well as if you'd like, how anybody could best get in contact with you should they choose.
And Anthony, with you today. I wrote to you and I gave you the bullet points after, because all over the place now talking about this. A study, a big man, some of the words I wasn't quite sure, and I wrote the study with Dave Ruff. And so I put bullet points so people can understand this. Worst, the best healer in your city, if you can't communicate how to ground you. So make it simple. Talk about the bear in the room, we'll get it. And this last thing is this. What if, when we're talking about is the epigenetic key is the key, because we can do what we do. Now we talk about epigenetic, man, how I recommend you have a revolving door installed, because you are going to be one busy guy.
That's great. That's great. I'm going to go install my revolving door now. I want to thank you so much, Doc, Dr. Otto, for taking the time to share with us today. I know everybody's gonna get a lot of value from what we brought today. Thanks again, if you guys were listening, for getting on with another episode of the Chiropractic Research Breakdown. make sure you jump on chiroedgemedia.com because we're going to take all this information we talked about today, break it down into a nice newsletter for you to hand out in your office, which is awesome. So once again, thank you guys. Go slay some subluxations. I love you all.